Alright, response video to, I guess everybody. Because everybody appears to have the same problem. So I guess we're going to Anti-Bullshit Man sections, let's have to go find out, right? I don't remember, but anyway, the two on imposition. And so the argument being something like, there's nuance or complexity, and that I would agree with, that there's a whole bunch of turbulence, as he used the word turbulence, in terms of these ethical questions. And some are kind of, just from our perspective, we'd have to spend an awful lot of time figuring out which was the better circumstance. One kid with 6 months of chemotherapy, or 2 kids with 3 months of chemotherapy, or 3 kids with whatever, two months. You know, that kind of thing. And yeah, it'd be very hard to analyze that and say, well, what would be better, you know, as an outcome. And so there's a whole range of things that fit into this category of where we just, you know, these are really tough trade-offs. And then there's really easy questions, like, should we put dioxin in the Great Lakes? Should we dump toxic waste in the Great Lakes? And I think everybody could figure out that, no, that doesn't make it. Might be cheaper, but if it costs $20 more not to dump it in the Great Lakes, yeah, let's spend the $20. There's nothing good is going to happen if we do it that wrong way. And so there's a whole bunch of stuff, in my opinion, that falls way on one side of the fence or way on the other side of the fence that we don't need to sit there and pretend we're in doubt or confused or we don't understand and all that other kind of mush. And alright, so I don't know how to deal with Anti-Bullshit Man beyond just saying deal with that fact that some of these questions are not difficult, and there's no reason for me to concede any ground to ones that are, in my opinion, discernible. I don't have to pretend they're not. And I certainly don't have to contrive a bunch of fake or phony doubt about what I know from really hard personal evidence to be a truth. Alright, so then Piro left a comment. I guess I could deal with that, but I'll do Anticontavide's short video first. Yeah, that would probably be the way to go.
Anyone who's had a Catholic education inflicted upon them, as I have, will recognize this saying. If you seem to lack faith, then act as though you do have faith, and faith will be given to you.
Alright, well, whatever. Isn't that whole notion kind of silly in the first place? I mean, faith is belief without reason. You know, what value is that? The whole notion of faith is just a canard anyway in religion. Most of the main characters in religion weren't required to have faith. They saw miracles performed before them. It wasn't a matter of faith for them.
Believe it or not, that was one of the admonitions that caused me to fundamentally break with Catholicism eventually, and Christianity and religion in general. Because it struck me as an admonition to stop doubting, act as though you believed in all of this, in spite of it.
Yeah, to just act. Yeah, like that. Well, that's asking too much to pretend. Oh, okay.
The fact that your mind might tell you otherwise, or your mind might have questions that it wants to ask. Why? What's going on here?
Right, well, you're not going to get those answers, right? You already knew that as part of the deal of religion, right? You don't get the answers. God's will be done, blah, blah, blah. That's one of the precepts walking in, is that here's a stupid book. You're not going to get any more than the stupid book. You can try to find more by holding your head up and praying for it, or saying, make me feel something, do something, God. You know, strike me with some sort of whatever, magic beam of something, you know, stare at me funny, whatever, yeah, but that was the deal.
You've got the answers, now stop thinking about what the answers might be seemed to be the message.
Well, it seemed to me that there were no answers. No, there was 9 million questions and no answers, okay? You don't get to know what God was doing 4 days before he got the human idea. You don't get to know anything. Well, not 4 days. 4 days you do know.
Behind that, I didn't buy it. I still don't buy it. And I don't buy it when someone in the name of science tells me exactly the same thing.
Right. So when he was pushed to describe this someone in the name of science, someone who says, science says, and you have to believe this, like have faith in it, and then you'll understand it. So first just believe in it, and then you'll believe in it. There's somebody who's saying that. No, he couldn't come up with anybody who's done that. He's just saying it because, yeah, he wants to imply straw man. That's how you make straw man, right? It's when you say something, somebody says, well, where's this thing? And you say, I don't have this thing. Oh, that's right, because it's a straw man. You didn't have the thing. You just made a fakie. All right? And then said, yeah, this is reality. So you could demonstrate some kind of superpower your philosophy provides by creating a fake enemy that you smited with it. Right? Right.
Stop doubting. Take this for granted.
Right. Who said that? Who said that? Yes, stop doubting. Right. Stop unreasonably doubting. Maybe that somebody might say to you. Stop being completely unreasonable in defense of your selfish, contrived notions of reality. Yes.
You're just causing more trouble by asking more questions. Sorry, it doesn't work like that.
Well, I guess there's some point in arguing whether there are questions that don't need to be answered, right? I mean, once you know how we got here, once you understand evolution, does the evolution of chemistry matter much? It's even a dumber story. Does the evolution of physics matter? I mean, it gets even cruder and dumber. There's not some kind of smarter story the deeper you go. Snorri?
You're just going to have to burn me at the stake, I'm afraid.
Yeah, well, I wish I had the right to do that, to tell you the truth. Yeah, I mean, look, the doubting Thomas. I mean, whatever. You want to pretend that you're playing the doubt game fairly. So apparently, yeah, this Piro did the Anticontavad research video and spent 20 minutes saying 2 minutes worth of information. But regardless, and that this Anticontavada was part of the foundational philosophy of the Jainists, whatever you want to call them, Junists. It doesn't matter. And somehow like they can't do anything. They're going to be just crippled by an inability to influence everything because they don't know about what the influence is going to mean or what the consequence is. And obviously he's not taking it to that anything like that. He's not making that kind of argument. He's not going for some fail-safe plan of the doubter. If you're in such doubt about things, then you should advocate for people to do absolutely nothing, to invest in neither side, to support neither side in the war, so to speak, to declare your neutrality from a truly neutral position. But you're not neutral. You're pro-life, pro-nature, pro-carnage, pro the game in every respect. So obviously your doubt doesn't extend to that. You don't doubt the integrity of evolution as a guiding force for your life. For an instrument to tell you, you go ask the DNA quite clearly. Go ask the DNA. What does the DNA say? So you're not a doubter. You're not playing some doubt game. Not if you're going to do it from this pretense that you have some secure default. If you're going to say that you're too stupid, you can't know, you don't know, all you have is questions and you don't have answers, well, the person who doesn't have answers just has questions probably shouldn't be saying people should be having kids. You probably shouldn't be advocating for, yeah, keep the machine running even though we don't know what the machine is doing. That doesn't sound like a doubter to me. So it seems to me it's just a new robes. You're just putting a new robe on the old dogma of religion. I guess I'm right again. Yeah, so back. So I kind of responded to do in the morning with this. She's doing her typical crap, and then she adds this little bit to, at the end. While people who are not scientists sometimes take a theory and use it for their own agenda. Yeah, that's you. Usually they have misunderstood the science. Well, that's you again. Or look at it through the lens of their own agenda. Yeah, which is you again. And so she compares everybody to William Lane Craig, who doesn't really believe in anything. Okay, he doesn't believe in God. He makes money, okay, selling God theory to ignorant people. That's what he does. Okay, he's a magician of sorts. He does a performance. Okay, he fools people and he makes money. There's nothing complicated about him. Ugh, in such a case, the model of the Big Bang. I don't know what that is. Inmendham is another evolution. Yeah, well, I'm sorry. Your arguments are based on nothing. You don't provide any counter argument. Okay, you just recite book titles. You don't understand enough to be able to make the argument. So I guess that's really, 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 really lame. So just saying something like epigenetics, or just saying something like symbiotic relationships, when you clearly don't understand that they all start with as parasitic relationships, is you just selling a lie, selling an idea that doesn't really exist. Organisms do not walk up to each other and get into some sort of complementary relationship. No, one of them walks up to the other with a gun. It starts off as a rape, and well, they get to know each other and they work it out. But you're the one who doesn't understand the science, and then you're an obnoxious, arrogant cunt to boot. So anyway, and so into Kantavod's response is another. I mean, clearly he has a contempt for science, and clearly he has a lack of understanding of it too. As usual, you zeroed right in on it. Scientists prove something, then 10 seconds later are feverishly searching for the next fact. Where's the evidence of that? Where? Show me. I mean, it's not only just a preposterous exaggeration. 10 seconds later? No, I don't think so. But where's the demonstration of that? Where have they undone? On what periphery are you talking about where all this certainty turns to doubt? I don't see any of that. I don't see any evidence of that. So you're just making an accusation against scientists. So, again, he sits there and talks as if people use science, and then he talks about scientists. So clearly that's who he's attacking, is science. All right. Happily disregarding any panic that might accompany such an incredibly rapid shifting of certainties. So where's your example of this incredibly rapid shifting of certainties? Where? What, we're no longer certain the Earth is orbiting the Sun? Where has science grotesquely dropped the ball except in the theoretical realm? Where they've qualified what they're talking about and said, yeah, might be a little bit iffy. Certainly capitalist science today makes a lot of claims that it can't back up, but those are just capitalists, they're not scientists. What is beyond question today, even in science, will be simplistic, wrong-headed, or just plain wrong in 10 years. Based on what evidence? What science of 10 years ago has been completely and radically changed? Oh, that's right, none. And scientists are perfectly okay with that. Well, that's just absolute crap. I don't think scientists are perfectly. I don't think any credible science would be perfectly okay with scientists completely reversing themselves on fundamental conclusions they've drawn about the credibility or integrity of a specific theory. So why don't you first point out the theories? And why don't you have a timeline of the theories, the important theories, and the ones that science established as absolute facts, as proven facts, as undisputable facts, as beyond reasonable doubt facts, and how 10 years later they call that theory rubbish. Prove your accusation. You're going to make accusations. Why don't you prove one of them for a change? Oh, that's right. Slanderers don't do that. Yeah, okay. That's right. I forgot. You're just a despicable liar. Oh! Yeah, damn it. Gotta remember, I'm working with people who don't have any integrity. Yeah. Alright. One of you should make a frequently asked questions video. Yeah, blah, blah, blah. Why should I have to make a frequently asked question video for idiotic, nitpicky, and naysay, unthoughtful, ignorant objections? Right? I mean, people don't say this stuff because they give a fuck about the truth. They say this stuff because they just want to make some counter-argument in defense of the Borg. I mean, nobody realistically says to somebody, why don't you just kill yourself? As if they think that's a rational way to defend something. I mean, it only takes a little tiny bit of thought to figure out how there's lots of circumstances where they have complained about an imposition and they would feel quite irritated if somebody gave them the solution of killing themselves. Right? I mean, if somebody steals their car and they get upset about it and they go complain about it, and then somebody says, well, if you don't like it, go kill yourself, you little whiny baby. Yeah, I think they'd find that really irritating. Anyway, I'd like to see the answer to, life is a personal call you can only make once you are alive. Thus, people should live well enough to make an informed decision about the life versus a painless suicide. So again, this is just like saying, well, why don't we test out slavery, on the darkies? And, there's no point in saying it's a bad idea right off the bat. Let's just make some slaves, we'll put them in slavery, and then we'll ask them if they want to kill themselves. Yeah. And that'll prove that slavery is just fine, because most of them won't want to kill themselves. So, yeah, slavery's good. No problem. What's your problem? I mean, it's just, you can't say you're going to give people some sort of liberty by first imposing. You get it? You can't give liberty by imposing on someone. No, you have to make it first, and you can't make it first, and that's something you'll never accept as part of this deal, is that your obligation is to fix it. Your obligation isn't to keep saying somebody will fix it someday. That's bullshit. Also, the other one, to fight for freedom, you have to be alive. What does that even mean? To fight for freedom, you have to be alive. I mean, it just sounds like such propaganda. Is that like the death tax or something? What kind of rhetoric is that? To fight for freedom. What kind of freedom? The freedom to be an exploitionist or what? What are you talking about? What kind of freedom? Obviously, I didn't have the freedom from my mother's dumb, stupid judgment, did I? No, I didn't. So how does my fight for freedom have anything to do with this crap? Oh, that's right. It doesn't have anything to do with this crap. I want the freedom to be free from your stupid and idiotic and inane judgment that you're somehow accomplishing something. Your delusion. I want freedom from imposition by your delusions. That's not what you're giving me. And that applies to groups within species as well as the whole species. Well, obviously species don't have any interest. Just the members of the species have interest. It's your delusion. It's not the species' delusion, not some subspecies delusion. No, it's your delusion, fuckhead. Okay. Let's see. You are not likely to get the slave owners on board. We will have to live to beat them. I don't even know what this means, but obviously that's what you do. Or they will produce slaves even from their own genes, which I don't even know what this means. The weaker ones. What is that crap? I don't know what that means. So anyway, incomprehensible rubbish. So anyway, so back to anti-bullshit man. Oh yeah, Jay's got a new, put the Ephilism blog back up, but he said he's going to daily post, and then, he said that 2 weeks ago, so who knows, another not started start or something. So I really did think I had the anti-bullshit man thing here, but I don't have it here, so I have to go load it again, I guess. And then I have to kill the style so I can read it. So I'll just use my little jerky tool here. Kill style. No, I don't want to do that. I want you to kill the style of the style sheet. Kill the style. Kill style. There. Okay, got it right that time. And then zoom down here to like, I think it's around N. You can't win. No, that's already did that. Moral nihilism, defeat him. No, did that. Do. Non-rational did that. Oh, so we're on O. Non-impositions. Okay, so that's what he called it. Non-impositions, question marks. We are not on a rescue mission. He didn't really deal with that rescue mission analogy at all in this kind of short thing. He just kind of didn't really overtly link to it, but sort of linked to it. Anyway, and then the secondary argument, which was approved impositions, where you can stop people from doing something because it's ethically problematic. And so, but anyway, so the point I would make is that yes, there was at least the acknowledgement. I mean, it's not that there's an acknowledgement. I would concur with his argument that there are. You can ask thought experiments that create no, easy answer, where it's a coin toss, where the balance is going to be complicated, or you can create one that has implications into the future that could be very complicated. I mean, trying to figure out what somebody's kids are going to do in the future or some other kind of thing. So none of those can be answered absolutely. It's just a probabilistic equations can be, and so we know what is probabilistically problematic. And so for the same reason we tell all people they can't drink and drive, even though some people might be very good drivers when they're drunk, we just say no, the probability is that you're not going to be a good driver, and there's absolutely no reason to open the door to the risk of letting everybody see how good or bad they are. And for a minor inconvenience of not allowing it. So you pay very little for a very large benefit, and pay very little in terms of a legal imposition. So I don't think there's as much disagreement as he likes to contrive, but I'm still going to argue there isn't. In the end, there's an absolute truth here. There's a truth. We can't know all the truths. We can't see all the truths, but we can see a lot of them. We know certain things are always going to be true. They're always going to be bad. That's never going to change. Okay? I mean, torturing some rabbit, to test makeup or something is pretty much bullshit. There's lots of things we know is bullshit. And, it's going to be bullshit now. It's bullshit 100 years from now. It'd be bullshit 1,000,000 years from now. It's bullshit forever. And some of these, in the game of, again, you can always just go back to evolution. And fortunately, that's his next section, which is good. Well, hedonism, it says. No. I thought there was a section here on hedonism. Knee-jerk insults. I don't know where it is, but anyway, I thought there was a section on the more interesting subject. Oh yeah, it's a subsection Q here. Question: antinatalism and atheism are not ideological cousins. Yeah, that's it. So Q, that's the one. Okay, just it wasn't in bold, so I didn't see it because it wasn't in bold. All right, but anyway, so that ought to be interesting because, in my opinion, atheism, once you accept evolution as the definition of our origins, it all rolls. All the important truths just roll right out of that fact. Yeah. It describes our dilemma, our problems. All of it's built into this concept of evolution and what it's capable of, and the games it will create. And none of the games are good. Anyway, this video wasn't very directed, but I'll have to work on that. At least it was Baron Piro's video. 20 minutes to say 2 minutes worth of stuff, because he just spent the rest of the time spelling stuff and doing Google searches and whatnot. So anyway, whatever. Whatever.